And we're live.
It says off air.
We're live, Adam.
All right. Hey, welcome back, everyone. There it is. We hope you've been enjoying our weekly chats with game changers and educators from around the country. Episode 36. Todd, I cannot believe we've had 36 episodes so far.
It's
Follow along the
crazy.
hashtag. Crazy. Follow along the hashtag Kids Deserve It.
And also make sure you check out our book on Amazon. You can, and while you're waiting for it to come in, you can get the Kindle version for $2.99. So make sure you check that out as well.
And don't forget our Kids Deserve It chat every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And Todd also has an awesome, I watched last week, Periscope show that happens 30 minutes before our Kids Deserve It chat. We have another great guest on our show this week, but first we want to introduce ourselves. I am Adam Welcome, Director of Innovation in the Bay Area of California, and today I'm on my phone broadcasting from our pool in the corner.
And I'm Todd Nesloni, elementary school principal in Navasota, Texas, but today I'm in North Dakota. And our guest today is
Noah
Noah. You want to
Geisel
introduce?
in Denver, Colorado, and at Senor G on Twitter. Super excited to be here and to be your 36th guest. And we call that a double high in my religion. It's a good sign to be
There we
number
go.
36.
We
Nice,
want to remind our
nice.
viewers to participate on social media, share out using the hashtag Kids Deserve It, all the great things you're hearing, as well as any potential questions you'd like us to ask on the show.
So, Noah, we got a few questions for you. So, for those who don't know who you are, tell us about yourself.
I'm Noah Geisel. I'm here in Denver, Colorado, and my goal is pretty much to change the world every day. My background is high school and middle school English and Spanish teacher. My most proud moment was in 2013. I had the opportunity to represent the profession as the 2013 ACTFL National Language Teacher of the Year to really just promote foreign language teaching and study of language and culture and advocate for the profession. And so that's been just kind of the highlight of the wild ride I've been on. And right now, if I'm awake, and sometimes even when I'm not, what really predominates my thought space is digital badges, and also what do we do to prepare students for jobs that aren't being outsourced and automated. Those are kind of the two things that just really all I think about if I'm awake.
Nice,
That's great.
very nice.
Well, we like to talk about educators who are doing innovative things. And you mentioned the digital badging. Can you kind of talk about that a little bit and kind of how you got involved with that and maybe explain it for maybe some of our viewers who don't know what digital badges are?
Absolutely, and it's definitely way conceptually abstract. I could go on and on for hours. I'll try and be as succinct as possible. For folks who are interested, though, definitely Mondays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern. Check out hashtag BadgeChat K12. Great opportunity to find a tribe with whom you can collaborate around the digital badge space. And basically, digital badges are, in a lot of cases, trying to solve a problem. And the problem that they're trying to solve is that for colleges and employers, our transcript and our resumes don't really tell the whole story, that there's a lot missing from the narrative of who we are as learners and achievers. And so, if you believe that students are a lot more than their GPA, their standardized test scores, their attendance rate, and whether they have or have not been suspended from school, digital badges offer us a way to kind of have a deeper, richer narrative, a sort of high definition, three-dimensional view of them. Definitely rhymes with the work happening in the digital portfolio space. It just also kind of allows you to issue credentials with evidence attached, so that because the credential has the same name, the portfolio sort of can be compared apples to apples across classroom to classroom, school to school, and even out in the community.
Nice. Where were badges when I was in high school? Because I had the worst GPA, and there was so much more to me than my GPA. That's awesome. No, serious. Oh my gosh. So Noah, what are some of your favorite things to do as an educator?
Man, one of my favorite things to do is in Spanish classrooms, to see students going from not knowing anything to getting to a place of thinking, I've just learned so much so fast, and I'm already able to communicate, to a degree that all of a sudden I have confidence as a language learner that this is possible for me, this is achievable for me to go on to become bilingual or a polyglot even one day, and more importantly, bicultural. So in the classroom, that's really a huge joy for me. So I've always enjoyed teaching the lower level classes, so you get to see that rapid growth. Another thing I love is when you find out former students are becoming teachers. I'm old enough now that that's starting to
Mm,
happen.
Nice.
And then in the PD space, that's just one of the an amazing joy, right? When you get to spend, like Todd, I'm guessing that's what you're doing in
Hmm.
Idaho is PD, and you get to, or North Dakota, you said. You
Yep.
get to do work on a Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then on Tuesday through Friday you're getting emails from teachers who are sharing with you ways that they're re-energized, they're excited, and beyond your 175 students, here's a whole room full of educators who have 175 their own students who are being impacted by ideas that you had that are just weird enough for other people to latch onto.
Nice.
So, Noah, were you raised bilingual, or did you learn a second language throughout school?
Yeah, I was not raised bilingual at all. I had like the parents who would, if we'd go out to dinner at a restaurant, they thought the waiter knew Spanish, to be like, use your words, Noah, put me in uncomfortable situations. It was more, I grew up in a minority majority school system though, and really a lot of my friends were, well, a lot of them weren't Spanish speakers. Their parents were Spanish speakers or the children of Spanish speakers, and so going into their homes was like hearing this secret code all the time. And so I
Hmm.
definitely kind of developed an early love for the culture, I'd say. And then as I kept studying through middle school, high school, and college, and had an opportunity to study abroad and kind of have that moment of, I think this is achievable for me to be like bilingual one day. I really fell in love with it. And then when I was looking to be a teacher later on and wanted to be a high school English teacher and found out without having a degree in that there was no way I was going to get a job, but I had enough credits to be NCLB qualified to teach Spanish, I went for my alternative licensure in that, and it was kind of cool that I could get paid a salary and have health insurance to share my love of Spanish and culture with young
Yeah.
people and try and basically
Very.
infect them with the contagion.
So, Noah, what was school like for you growing up, you personally as a student?
Oh man, it depends when. I was super, motivated learner in elementary. I'd say, I was the kid who, would every week my mom would take me to the library and I'd leave with a stack of books that I would finish, for before the next week, and just I was in an elementary environment that really fostered inquiry. I don't think that back in the 80s they were using that word around it, but it was really, an environment that was supportive of inquiry-based learning, I'd say. And then middle school was middle school. I probably would need hypnosis to remember much of it. It was very traumatizing for the most part.
I'm with you on that one.
High school was I went to kind of one high school out in the country, like a chili field on one side of school, cornfields on the other, and it was just eye-opening. I was the first Jewish kid anybody had ever met, and it was this huge learning experience, and also it was not a place where kids grew up thinking what they were going to do after high school automatically was go to college. It was my high school graduating class was 199, I think, and my freshman class was 314. So we lost a third of my
Wow.
classmates along the way, and so
Wow.
growing up, it was definitely awesome childhood and totally informative. And in a lot of ways, when I started as an educator, as much as I definitely had teachers who I wanted to emulate, there was also a whole lot of examples there. As I reflected back on my schooling, that said, you know what, you, that was a great data point of something that I don't want to be like for my
Yeah.
students.
So Noah, we love to talk about wishes in with Kids Deserve It. If you had one wish, what do you wish happened more in education?
Man, one. I only get one. I can't. Aladdin. I want to run my
One.
lamp. Get a few. I think. That the going beyond buzzwords. That I think for educators deserve. Action plans and leaders. I think you, Adam, and Todd probably are beloved by staff who you don't come in with big mandates and awesome Taylor Swift catchy choruses, but don't dive into the verses of here's examples of how this big idea we want to see can look like. And so that's something that I kind of wish that we could have in education. I wish for our kids that I think labels is something that I'd love to see go away for kids. This idea that we hear somebody say she is and then fill in the blank. A tough kid, a bad kid, a brilliant kid. Defining young people, whether they're 6 years old or 16 years old, when who they're going to be at a cellular level is almost 100% different, but just on a personality level and intellectual level, when they're at 32 years, old, is going to be a totally different person. And so I'd love to see labels go away for kids and just
I
view
love
them
it.
as not a sum of one decision they make one time.
Right.
True.
So Noah, we have a lot of schools that are either that have just started or just beginning to start. What would be a piece of advice that you would give to a teacher who's just starting their year?
Focus on relationships. That I definitely that if your early career, there's a reason why you see Fred Jones and Harry Wong books everywhere. I mean, that they tell you great ideas, to get started at the beginning of the school year and have good classroom management and everything. But at the end of the day, the relationships are really what kick it all off. And so I think that would be the one tip is, there will be time to get to the content and standards-based objectives that meet the criteria and prepare kids to do amazing on their park tests, and in these first couple weeks of the year really focus on just ensuring that the students walk into your door and know that they're standing there with an adult who cares about them.
The first blog post that Todd and I wrote together was called Relationships Matter Most. So love that answer, Noah. So, we all have tough days. Yeah, right? Yeah. We all have tough days. And what do you do when you're having those tough days and you can't get out of bed, but you have to get to work, to be awesome for kids? What do you do?
Man, so something that I hope every educator does is, and probably just anybody should, this is probably a great practice, is have a good news folder. And so when somebody says something nice to you, whether it's a former student who emailed you, or a principal who, said something, nice in an email after observing your class, just store that away in a good news folder, and you can be printing those out and have a physical good news folder. You can keep it digital, whatever works for you. But when I have a hard day, the first place I go to is my good news folder, and just pull out session evaluations from a conference 7 years ago. Just somebody anonymously wrote "You're awesome," and all of a sudden that can help you get back to a place of giving yourself permission to believe that, right? That you in fact are awesome, and you're not just this person who's feeling down right now, because that's going to show up in class, right? You wake up feeling bad at 7:15 when the bell rings. Your kids are going to smell, taste, and hear that, just in the atmosphere of your room. And so take a glance, thumb through the good news folder, find something good to latch onto, and hopefully it'll make you feel better. And another thing that I do, I don't even know how many years now, somebody asks me how I'm doing, I always say fantastic. I don't care how bad I'm feeling. No matter what somebody says, "What's up?" I'm like, "Fantastic," and it has sort of a placebo pill effect. If you say you're fantastic, it kind of forces you to be fantastic.
Love that.
That's a great point. I love that. Noah, who is somebody that inspires or challenges you to be better?
Man, I mean, so many people. Digitally, as far as folks who other people are going to know, Larry Ferlazzo is somebody who I've never gotten to meet. But that dude inspires the heck out of me. Shelly Terrell is somebody down there in Texas with Utah who really inspires me, and I think her 30 goals is just one of the best things that's out there for educators right now. Highly recommend that everybody check that out. And people who say "I don't know" inspire me. Somebody who's willing to hear something and take a breath and think about it, and before giving whatever answer, shooting from the cause, somebody who's willing to say "I don't know," that I find that really inspiring.
Nice. So Noah, every week we like our guests to leave a challenge for our viewers. What is your challenge for the week?
My challenge for the week is totally, timely for the beginning of the year with that idea of relationship building. And so my challenge to you, anybody who's watching this, is go ahead and open up your calendar, whether you're on Outlook, Google Calendar, whatever, and give yourself a daily calendar reminder for the next 5 days to find one student who you're going to, try and start that relationship building process with. Just, 2 questions that you're going to just go up to one of your students and ask, a question. And it can be, what's your favorite color? It could be a little deeper than that, like, why is that your favorite color? Or maybe it's even, what do you dream about when one day? What are your dreams? And that's just the linchpin right there. Just knowing about your students is a great way to start building that relationship, so that you have a follow-up question for them 2 weeks from now, like, hey, how we going on achieving those dreams, right? And so that would
Nice.
be my
I think that is a
challenge.
great challenge. Well, Noah, we
Love
want to
that.
thank you so much for giving us some time on a Sunday evening to chat with us. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you guys so much for having me. This is a huge honor to be here.
Thank you,
And we want
Noah.
to thank all of our viewers as well for watching the show. And remember to tweet us during the week using the hashtag #KidsDeserveIt, or you can tag us in the tweets as well. And don't forget to check out our Twitter chat every Wednesday, as well as my Periscope that I do right before the chat to talk about the chapters for the week. And check out our guest next week, who is a Texas educator, and her name is Corey Coburn Shiflett. So we hope you check us out next week. Thanks again, Noah.
Thanks, Noah.